Alright, welcome back to the Career Build Series. This is episode 40. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go into sound here. And I'm going to, let's go in, let's turn down the environmental sounds here. Alright, it's raining like crazy outside and make it easier to not have to talk over it. So, in the last episode, did a little work on Rougeot. I released the updated version to the workshop, added depth, some depth gauge, some spots, fixed a little list that's been somehow, I can't figure out what's causing it. And doubled up the fuel. So did a bunch of that, got into Lua, and you guys can see how bad I am at Lua. And so one of the decisions I made was if we look in the workbench here, I have been working on a bunch of stuff. You probably, if you subscribe to the channel, you've probably seen them. Stuff like my ship loaders, and the Mack has been taking a lot of my time. I worked on TTIS, big coal trailer. I think, and so one thing I was thinking of doing was coming in and bringing some of these into the career build series and using them. Now, on occasion, I might still do that. If we want to take Rougeot out with the barge and load up a container, I don't want to have to go and spend 30 hours or more building a new loader just so you guys can see it. So I'll probably use this one, spawn it and use it. But our main craft that we're going to use, I want to build from scratch in here. That's kind of the purpose of having a career build series, is to show it being built and also to play with them, but to build them. So so an idea I had was, let's go through and and I also kind of want this to be where you can kind of see almost like a tutorial of what's going on, and follow along and see how I build some of these crafts. So what I thought would be cool is to build a dump truck. And so what that will hopefully allow us to do is, we now own the Career Starter Base, Komodo, and Spy Cakes. All right, if we look up here, up at the top of the mountain here, we have a coal gantry. We can buy coal for $1.53. And we can sell it over here at Komodo for $5.36. So we're talking $4, a little less than $4 per unit. So that's worth doing. So that's going to be good profit for us. So what I thought we'll do is we'll build a dump truck that can carry the coal. And so let's start in here. And so first thing I want to do is I want to let me just type in coal, and I want to see what these are. So there's steam coal, hopper large, medium. So we can actually kind of build these. We can build these kind of the size we want. So let's kind of look at some of these. So this is a medium. We're probably going to go with large just because that's the normal width. That's a large, and the small's got to be pretty tiny, I imagine. All right, so that small's tiny. So a small could be good for if we need to fill in spots. All right, so let's look at the width here. So put on symmetry here, symmetry. All right, and let's see. That is going to be 9. Okay, so like my Mack, for example, I believe is 11. So let's bring up the Mack. So the Mack here is 11. So the Mack is a normal size for, so this is a normal truck size in game, is 11 with the mirrors overhanging by 1. So 9 is actually, so let's go back and get a new one here. Okay, let's save it as well. Dump truck. Career dump truck. Okay, we'll save that as career dump truck. And so what I want to do as well is I want to start making things under my own brand. And so I've always been a fan of Caterpillar equipment since I was a kid. And so I kind of came up with my own brand. It's PAT. And it's Precision Advanced Technologies. And so this is the logo, and it's kind of like Caterpillar, building motors for vehicles and building construction and industrial equipment. So I'm going to build this under the PAT brand. So it's going to be the PAT diesel motor in there, and it's going to be a PAT branded truck. And and so we'll give the truck a name, a model number, and kind of make it like we almost have our own brand here. So that's what I think I'm going to do. So let's start with this. Okay, so let's start with a coal bunker. Let's start with the large coal. It's called hopper, but you know I'm going to call it bunker probably. Call it coal hopper so you can find it. So all right, so let's measure. Okay, so that is going to be what? That is there 9. So yes, we're going to go 11, like the Mack, as you can see, just like that, so that we have a so we can have some fairing around. That's right there. So that's good. So what I want to do is I don't want this to be the beginning. I want to start building the cabin chassis first, but that's just giving me a scale. So let's go ahead and go back to the single block. And I'm going to move this block up the front. Take it off the ground here. All right, so we'll start with our front bumper, and we want to make this 11. So that's 11. That's good. I'm trying to think of how, I'm trying to think of some of the kind of, well, let's start roughing the shape here of how I want this to be. So I want it front tilting hood. So let's do some pivots for that. Pivot, okay. Compact robotic pivot is what we want here. So I could do 1. I think I'm going to do 2, like that. Right there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm back to back like this, and we will turn the arrows. All right, so this is going to start our the front of the truck and the hood. All right, so let's go ahead and let's kind of flesh this out here for a bumper. All right, so that's kind of our bumper there. Then we want to flesh out, so this is where the actual hood's going to be. So this hood will fold forwards like so. So I'm just going to kind of build it up like this. And then I'll merge that really quick like that, and that will fold forwards as our hood. So it's not going to be that tall, but then we need some fenders. So let's go ahead and cut in. So let's see. That's kind of, I think, looking about where we want to be. Start cutting in fenders here. So one of the things I can do is I want this to be pretty off-road capable. The Mack is, is designed to be a road truck, so it's a little closer to the ground. I want this to kind of be a good off-roader. So let's go right to wheels. And so we're going to let I'm going to try to build a chassis first. That's how a lot of trucks are actually done, is they're built on the chassis, and then the actual cabs can be changed in size. So let's do a little test here. So if you look here, that's a 3x3 at max size, okay? So one tip I tend to use here is if you actually go up to the next tire, 5x5, put it here, you see how big it is? And then, is that suspension? No, it isn't. Okay, and then if you take it and you make it the smallest, you notice it's not much bigger than the 3x3, but I think it has more grip and performs better. So let's actually let's go right about, let's see, here. And so we're going to make this kind of a good industrial off-road, on-road truck. So we'll go 5x5s here. That's actually not a bad wheel size. I don't want this to be gigantic, but I also don't want it to be too small either. So that's kind of good there. So I want to start working on building this chassis. So a lot of trucks, industrial trucks will have, commercial trucks, better way to put it, have dual beam construction. So they have dual beams going down, like the Mack I drive at work is dual beamed like this. And so we're going to build the actual frame. I'm going to turn the Mack into a 10-wheel dump truck at some point too. All right, so there we go. So we kind of have a frame. Now, the further we put the tires towards the front, that's going to give us better ground clearance in the front. So I like having that like that. And then I want to make this proper off-road capable. So go like this. And we're going to put forget what this is called, but essentially you slope the front like this, and that way if it were to hit something, it would slide up. Like you saw on tanks in like World War II, they would have actually rollers so that if they hit the ground and push themselves up. So there we go. Okay, so that's good there. All right, so I need to start working on a fender shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, and the fender is going to actually be connected to the hood. All right, so I'm just going to do a real rough fender shape here. And I can change it later. So I kind of use what I call a sculpt in method. I start very boxy, and then I kind of, as I get it where I want, I can kind of reshape it to be less boxy, essentially. You know, to reshape it so that it's less boxy and a little bit more streamlined. That way it, you know, so it's kind of like if you think of a sculptor, how they take a big block of marble and then they reduce it. I'm kind of trying to do that. So that's overly high. Okay, let's go like this. Can I get a wedge right? Can I get a 2x in there? I cannot. So I have to put a 1x here to start it. And then there we go, like that. Let's do a 2x. See how it looks. Okay, so there's a 2x there. And then let's try doing this. You know, we're gonna probably end up making these maybe pyramids at some point, but just trying to get it going here. So I kind of want to get the general shape going. And then I want to I'm going to start going back down a little bit more aggressively here. So like that maybe. And then a 1x2 here. And put it right into the rear well like that. So it's kind of looking the way I want it. Let's try doing some pyramids, see how that looks. So I'm doing both the chassis and the body kind of at the same time, which, you know, it's a little bit, you know, it's not always the best way to do it, but it's allowing me to kind of get this to look the way I want it and also have it perform. So, you know, we want both form and function here. We don't want it to be just, you know, one or the other. So, you know, I could build the chassis and then realize the chassis is in the way, but, you know, I think we'll be good. All right, so what does this look like? Okay, so let's see what this looks like if I cut that straight across. That's not bad. I'm gonna cut the top off here. I don't hate a flat. I don't hate the flat. I really don't hate the flat wheel well. I don't. Kind of actually digging it. I kind of like a squared off wheel well. I think it's kind of old school. You know, so let's kind of look, see what the finished product looks like. And then let's do. This is probably going to look weird. We'll see if this looks too weird. Yeah. That looks weird there. Yeah, kind of same. I'll square it up and then I'll see what I want to do with it later. Because I can always, you know, again, I want to get this functional and then I can go back and change some of the aesthetics on it after I get going. So I don't want to spend too much time doing aesthetics. I want to get a functional truck up and running, and then as I could change it. Like the Mack went through a lot of iterations of getting changed, but I really like a nice squared out front here. That's looking good. So these fenders are going to be part of the hood. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to start cutting these up. Actually, I can cut all that. No, that's right there. Okay, I don't want to do that. Cut, paste, clear, cut. There, I want to cut over here. Cut, paste, clear, and then I kind of have a couple things I need to clean up, but let's get them attached to the hood first. Okay, there, and then here. All right, cut, paste, clear, cut, paste, clear. Okay, all right, so let's merge these up here. That to that, this to here. Let me fix some of my errors. That should go, and this should replace it. All right, and then I want, I'm just going to take a block on either side like this. Merge that and merge this. Okay, now that's one section. Okay, now this is all going to be our hood. So when we raise it, this should be connected. So I definitely need a 2x. There we go. And then that's going to go up vertical with wedge. So I kind of want this to look like an old school, not quite like a Mack Superliner, but something similar. Let's see, can I start cutting in and not have it look weird? That is the question. So again, trying to, it's often helpful in these situations to have kind of a, if you're struggling to kind of design how you want it, have some reference and see, if there's a truck in the real world that you really like. I'm looking at like an old school Mack in my head of how I want this. Mack's, pretty much my favorite truck manufacturer, IRL, so I like doing some Mack stuff. All right, I'm liking the way that hood's looking. That's looking pretty good. It's looking old school. It's looking, it's looking old style. That's what I'm liking. Then I want to start getting ready to transition to the dash of the truck and the cab. So like that maybe. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. I'm just going to put some wheels in the back here just to keep it from falling over. So these are not where those are going. Then I want to take a throttle. Logic here, bung. Go like that. All right, I'm going to save this really quick. Career dump truck. Okay, spawn it. So we're in our career save. I'm actually going to probably go over to test. I'm going to go over to test. Okay, so this is saved as career dump truck. Let's go ahead and get into the test career seed. That's just the same islands as we have. That's going to give me the ability to use infinite electricity, play with things, get a little bit more where I want. Okay. Teleport, do whatever I need to do. Go to any base. Just kind of, let me do a bunch more stuff so that I can, so that I can get this done a little bit more efficiently. All right, so that's what I would recommend to you is have yourself a test world as well. All right, and then I'm going to lower this in the ground, spawn it. Okay, so here we go. So I'm actually really liking this hood. This is nice and old school. I like it. We're going to crash again? We're going to crash? Maybe it's Stormworks is having problems today. Yep. Alright, so reboot Stormworks. Alright, I'll get right back with you when we get this finished. Alright, I'm back after restarting the game. Something's crashing it up. It could be on my system, I'm not sure. So let's spawn this. Let's go to infinite electricity. It doesn't like it when I go to the menu for some reason. Alright, so there it is, a front tip hood. The fenders go with it. It's not going to go to max 100%, so they don't usually go to max 100%. It's like maybe 75% like that. It's pretty good. No collisions or anything. It's a little sharp there, but oop, just me doing it too fast. These mud flaps might stay. I might keep these part of the body. That's often how it's done. Like on the Mac, it's like that. I'm gonna put a piece in here, and I'll see if I can get that closer. But it's looking good. That's functioning well. You know, one of the things that's kind of a pain about doing it the way I did it, or the building the hood. I was gonna just build a chassis first, which is just like the wheels and the. Oh, I don't want that going with it. This should be part of this. Okay, that is good. Okay. One of the benefits of building a chassis first is you can then put the body on later. And you have plenty of engine room. I don't think we're going to have a problem with having access to the... Oh, I need that. That's my sloped area. All right, I don't think I'm going to have issues where I have access to the engine here, so I'm not worried about it. But okay, let's get symmetry back on. All right, so we should have plenty of room. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that's the only issue we have, but... this is a smaller truck. I don't think we need a 5x5 radiator. You often need them for boats because boats are constantly at full throttle all the time. A truck is not going to be at full throttle all the time, so you don't need it. You generally don't need it to be, a huge cooling. You usually don't have a lot of cooling issues. Let's try see how this looks really quick. Fluid. What is that? Is that 2x? That's 3x. Okay. Let's go here. See how we like that? That doesn't look bad. I kind of like that. I like the flat hood. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to make this part here. I'm going to make all of this part of the cab. Like that is cab now. All right, and then I'm just going to quickly connect it here. All right, and that will give us, so now when we spawn it, it will go like that. So yeah, that's our cab, that's our firewall, and that's our hood there. All right. So yeah, I like that. That's looking good. Just kind of a nice industrial dump truck. The mud flaps now stay with it. All right, so that's good. That's gonna be our cab. I want a real like squarish windshield here, so I'm going to let's start fleshing out the engine bay here. So we're inside here. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be a 1x1. I should be able to fit it right here, nice and low. I can go cancel. Don't do that. What are you doing? Go right there. Yeah, so let's go there. All right, so what do I want to do? I want to put in a... I like to have lots of belt drive and the ability to have belt drive. It's going to have a nice strong motor in it. So I need modular. I'm going to go... I need a converter piece. I actually probably don't need that block. Let me see if I'll just walk it backwards. So I want a 3x3 belt drive. I'm going to go like that. Yeah, I did need a block to walk it, so that's fine. We'll go right there. 3x3 belt drive. This just gives me lots of belt drive space. Okay, could you just please go on the block that I'm asking you to go on? Are you going to be obnoxious the whole time? Okay. Let's try it here. Why won't you go? Okay. All right, so I need, what is it? 1, 2 spots. Like that. Okay, so it's gonna be difficult, so I need to fix this. Let's go crankshaft, modular engine 1x1 crankshaft here. Okay, then I want to put a converter. A 3x3 to 1. Then I want to come in, I want to do a 3x3 belt drive. I was hoping to be able to build it the other way, but it's not going to let me. Okay, as you can see, now that is built. Okay. Annoying. But it's done. Okay, so that's good. So I'm going to build this kind of an X pattern, just because to be able to get the power in a compact way, I'm going to do it in an X pattern, and then we will. This also gives me plenty of decorating room to do, plenty of decoration. I also want to keep it short. As you can see, that uses up a ton of blocks. That used up 3 blocks to get that converted, just to be able to have more more belts. So right there, that's a 4-cylinder. Let's just start copying up here. We will copy. All right, there's an 8, and there's a 10. What's that? 3. That's a 12-cylinder. 12-cylinder. Yeah, 12-cylinder. All right, so that'll be a 12. It's gonna be a 12-cylinder. We'll probably end up having to put a doghouse in. Doghouse is like a bump out in the cab. That's fine. A lot of tractors have doghouses. The Pinnacle has a doghouse. Let's see, what do I want? I want a flywheel. 1x flywheel. Flywheels are good for trucks. Gives you that torque you want. Clutch. Clutch. Okay, clutch is in. So we might need a little bit of a doghouse here, which is good. I kind of like that. Build a custom. I'm not gonna do like a tractor. Oh, do I want to? I might just put my Eaton Fuller in from my Mack. Actually, I'll build it from scratch. I want you guys to see it. So I'm not gonna do a splitter in here. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I kind of want this to keep this, like I said, an old school truck. So yeah, I kind of want to keep that old school. All right, so let's keep building. I want to kind of flesh out the transmission. So this is going to go down into the transmission. Okay, let's try to think how to build this so that it's where I need it. Okay, let's go. So let's first start at a gear. This will be our reduction reverser gear. So when you're facing towards the engine, you're up gearing. So we're only using this for final reduction. Okay, so I'll talk about that later when I get into gearing. This will be, I'm going to go all the way to 3-to-1, and then I'm going to go to -1. So this is going to be both our reduction gear, and it's going to be our reverser gear. Okay. We should be able to run with 1 reduction gear, I hope. If I go around, I get 1 gear. I've got a. I could keep this compact like this. So let's go down a arrow like this. So that's facing towards the engine. That is increasing the revolutions. So 1 revolution of the engine, 3 revolutions of the wheels. We're just using that for reduction. So I'll talk about that later. And then I want to go, if I go sideways and forwards, yeah. Trying to just work on the footprint. I want to keep this nice and compact. Okay, there we go. And now we need to watch the gear direction. So this is going to face away from the engine. So it looks like it's facing the same way, but if you look, this is pointing to the engine. This is, if it was this way, it's pointing. You got to follow the pipe. So right there, this would be facing towards the engine. That's facing away. So we want it away. So even though it looks the same, it's not. All right, so then we're going to go into a corner like that. That's going to be our next. So the rest should be facing away. Okay. So here we go again, facing away. All right, so I want to go down again. So we're trying to keep this kind of the same tight, compact package that we had. So this is going to face away. So this is going to give us a lot of gearing options here. And I can take some out if we need to. And that's going to face away. And that's our final gearbox setup. and then we're going to go drive shaft. And then I'll set up where I want the wheels once we get going here. And I think I'll make this an all-wheel drive. So what we'll do here is they'll both help us with grip. Seeing Stormworks is kind of iffy with grip. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, so I kind of want this to look like a robust, squared axle. So I don't want a tiny little pipe there. So let's go like actually I don't want it there. Let's take off symmetry. I'm just going to move it so I don't have to find it again. So often you see this, they're offset like this. And that's for the very same reason. You want a straight drive shaft to the back, then you have to go through a transfer case to do that. I might add a, you know what, I will do it. I'll do it just because it's complicated, but it will be cool. I'm going to add a lockout so you can decide if you want all-wheel drive or not. So, all right, so that's our final drive here. Then we're going to go like this. All right, so this is probably going to be a long video just because I'm building something from scratch. All right, so there we go. So now we're going to be able to attach the clutch to do all-wheel drive or not. So that's kind of cool. I think that would be kind of cool. All right, so that's kind of an engine protector. That's why it would be there in real life, as well as you'd want to protect the engine from hitting if you're going to be doing off-road. So this is going to be an off-road vehicle going up to a, it's going to be going up the mountain. So we want that all set up there. All right, so that is our gearbox M. Let's start fleshing the cab. So I want nice flat windows like how old school Macks were. Let me see if I can drag a, here. R Mack. So kind of, yeah, look at so here we go. So like, yeah, see kind of like the R Mack here. I don't want a video. So, so yeah, so kind of look at these old R Macks. See how they have a nice flat front, big squared wheel arches, pretty flat windshield. Of course, it's curved, but it's very flat. It has kind of a sun visor on it. Really cool old truck. You can see some other good examples of it here. So that was just kind of off the top of my head of when I wanted it to. So they actually have really square fronts. I might square up my fronts. I think I will. So let's do that. Yeah, so see how mine are a little bit. So I got a little bit less squared. I'm not unhappy with the way it looks, so I'm not going to screw with it too much. It's not going to be identical to anything, so that's fine. All right, windows. I really like Macs often have like a really kind of almost like a letterbox window. Everybody in Star Citizen goes nuts when they have an actual realistic window to look out of. I kind of like the narrow windows. It's kind of like old school trucks had narrow windows. A lot of airplanes have narrow windows. So that's pretty good there. What I might do here is might go even narrower. I need my seat's going to be 3 across, so I need that there for the seat. Yeah, so I might need to come in a little bit for the, let me look. So I might need another width on the hood here anyways. I don't know, let's look at this, see if, I'm going to make it one wider, see how it looks. See how we like it. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll kind of get this fleshed out a little bit, and then we'll end the video there. And then we'll get into more of the mechanics of getting up and running in the next video. So maybe I will square this out a little bit. I'm going to kind of go back to that Mack R and that R Mack, whatever you want to call it. it's the R model. So yeah, see how you have a nice tall grill in the front, and then you have so it comes down flat. So this is completely flat front. Squared out headlights going into really squared out fenders. A nice flat window, and then the same line here is your door. So that's something we need to consider. The reason, okay, so I'll tell you why I'm widening this is so we're gonna have 2 seats in here. The seats are 3 across. So I need 3 across windows where you're sitting, and I need the door to be the 4th spot here. So that's why I'm moving a bunch of stuff. So let's just do this. Save a little headache here. Is I will go like this, and we'll start to get this the shape. We'll finish the shape fleshed out here. All right, and this will give us a little more engine bay room too. Not that we necessarily need it, but it's kind of nice to have if we can get it. All right, so these are fine to have these pyramids, but I want to put them over there. Okay. All right, so like that. And then I think what I'll do is I'll do this here. Like that. And then we'll start to do our transition here. So this is going to be, I have issues, I'm not all that artistic, so it's tough for me to get to visualize how I want some of these things. So I like to get a reference picture up, and that way I can kind of see I'm sloping too much there. I got to square it up. So yeah, so for me it's helpful to have a it's helpful for me to have some sort of reference to work from, so I can kind of, when something looks right, it looks right, and so that's very much what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so it almost goes, so I'm going too wide, I think, here. So this is gonna be the door frame there. So let's do this here. Okay, go like this. So that's about as wide. Do I want to even that wide? Now it goes more towards here. So let's start sloping here. And then I'll fix it with, that's already, I think, looking more like I want it. There we go. Yeah, that's starting to bring it in. That's giving me more space to do what I want. Oh, I don't want that. I want that to be part of the hood. Okay, so that's squaring that up nice. I'm just going to keep going down, get the shapes where I want them. And then this should be taller, think like that. And then yeah, I'm trying to see how this, so that is completely flat. I'm just looking at the Mac picture on the other monitor. So this is looking good except for this area here. I need to fix this area here. Need to make these fenders work for me. So this area is the only area I don't like. This here, yeah, so I need to cut in there. So they're going to have to be sloped here. So see, the Mac is even, see, I can't do a tiny little angle like they do. Try what a 1x2 looks like here. Yeah, even that's not right. Okay. Okay, so I'm just trying to get the shape kind of where I need it. All right, so I think if I put some sort of detailing in here, I can get that to kind of start to look all right. There we go. I think this is kind of my ticket here. I need to get a little bit of fender detailing in here. Little changes in shape are, make it more interesting, I find. So. Yeah, that's kind of looking all right. It's not perfect, but it's looking all right. All right, and then this here. So it has a really big wheel well in there, a really high wheel well, just because, again, it's off-road, so you want that high wheel well so that you're not going to be, if you're throwing rocks up, you don't want it to destroy the inside of your truck. So what's it look if I go one closer? Can I go one closer? Ugh, that's disgusting looking. What if I did this? A lot of talking to myself, I know. This could be all right. Nah. Do it this way, though. Let's try it this way. Now, I think it's going to be better if I go squared off. Like that. That's kind of looking all right. Yeah, the edges look awfully square to me. Like I'm looking at the real Mack right now, and that's what it looks like. Again, it's not doesn't have to be a Mack. Just I love the Mack Model R. It's really kind of a cool design, so kind of liking that. It's looking pretty good. Let's try this instead. Let's go fours. Pyramid. Like it's completely square, but in Stormworks, I say it's completely square, but it has a tiny little bit of a bend, and in Stormworks you have like no bend. You can't do a tiny little bend. You have that 1/4 meter area. I don't know. That's just that shape is stressing me. Let's try something else here. Again, this is the problem with getting into decoration at the same time that you're doing that, but it gives you a nice break. That looks all right, I think. All right, so we'll work on decoration a little bit more. It's getting there. It is getting there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put yeah, I don't know if I could do that. Yeah, see, that's sloping down too much. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna try to get this looking where I want it, and then I'll end. So I'll put just trying to get the general shape of what I want. So I want almost completely squared out front, like, come on, get away. I just put a block. I didn't even know where in there. So see, the problem is it's one taller, and I can't get that low, so. Let me try it like this. Let me try it this height. I think I was trying to get too high. This should really come up one, but that would kind of ruin me. And then let's try just a simple slope in here. No, that's terrible looking. Let's cut this here. Let's try a 1x2. It causes me problems, but I can try to fix them later. That's looking all right, but I need to then take some of this edge off here, I think. I think it's going to look funky. Yeah, it's looking funky. All right. All right, so I think the key is trying to get something fixed in here. Okay. So that's not a bad shape here. I just need to finish this and make that look not completely weird. Let's try what a 1x2 looks like here. No. Okay, so that's too boxy, but if I can cut in, see what a 1x4 pyramid looks like in there. All right, so let's go with this for now. It's awfully boxy, but you know, this is something I can go in and design later. So what I'll do here is I'm gonna finish up. I've been probably boring everybody with me trying to just figure out aesthetics. It's not really all that interesting. Me trying to figure out aesthetics. So I will just finish up these last couple details here, and then in the next video we'll go ahead and I'll start to do some of the actual building of the systems. But nice little start to the truck here. We'll see how it turns out. I still need to work on, you know, maybe cutting into this front here, I think will help relieve some of the ugliness of it. It's not terrible, but it's just I'm having issues. You know, the real stuff, it has real minor wet angling like this, which like that's even right off the bat is dressing that up. So I think maybe that's the ticket. I know I said I was going to stop, but I think I just kind of stumbled onto a little bit of a design language here that's going to be a little bit better. Is you know, the real stuff, it has a tiny little slope, and I need that to kind of make it look less. Yeah, like see, that's already looking better. Is it's starting to come in where it has some shape. You know, you need that shape, and that's starting to shape. So that's actually coming up really well. So I kind of had was in a little bit of a state of block, and I think I just got out of it. So let's finish this really quick, and I will call this video done, and then I will get into the next one, and we'll actually start putting some mechanics together. So it's kind of take a little break from aesthetics. There we go. Look at that. That's starting to look right. This should probably come up one. I'm going to actually move the whole cab up one. All right, so let's do that first, and then I'll call it. Okay. Yep, let's do that first. So let's grab the cab here. Let's grab to the window. Let's cut it. Let's go up one. It's gonna, yeah, the truck was looking too smushed. It was looking too stout. So this will be, this will give us a little bit more space. And I can actually go with a little bit wider of a grill, which see if I like the wider grill. I think I already do. Give it more of a industrial look. And then what I think I'm going to do is here, I'll do this while you guys are still with me, if you still are. Don't do that. Do that. Okay. And then what I'll do here is the pivots will be out more. All right. There we go. And then do this side here. All right, and then that, where did I have that? And then the lights, might have some issues where I want to put my lights now, but I'll at least get my grill where I want it. Why won't, okay, why won't that let me attach there? Because I just screwed up. Okay, this needs to be there, and this needs to be here. All right, and then let's do this. Again, I'm going to end this really soon. There we go. Okay, so I think we're starting to get there where I want this to look. This is looking good, I think. Starting to come along. Yep, that's starting to come along. That's looking proper. All right, so let's save it. We'll do career dump truck backup. Dump truck backup. All right, and we will call it there. And next, I'll get into a little bit more of the mechanics. We'll start fleshing out the chassis more now that I have the shape. I needed the shape too because I need to get the height of my cab to kind of get that assessed. So, all right, we'll see you then. Thanks.